Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today date is early Sunday morning, October the 8th, 2017, time 5:30 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my supporters for your continued encouragement and support. I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area and continue to further my education at Monroe College online, pursuing my associate degree, studying business administration, concentration in marketing. And I know I usually have the music like Radio Africa online, but I'm gonna have to get in contact with HP this week. But what I'm gonna do right now is do my Instagram. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today date is early Sunday morning, October the 8th, 2017, time 5:33 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement and support. Now, usually I be playing the music, Radio Africa online, but I'm gonna have to go talk to I'm gonna have to get in contact with the people, get the technician to look at my computer. No, first we always give thanks to God for all His blessings and His guidance. And want to say this. We had a very tragic incident that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada, and also been having to deal with natural disasters, things in there. So just want to take this moment, just take a moment of silence, 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, just to pray to God. You understand about all these things that's occurring, that's happening. So So let's just take a moment of silence. So, okay. What I'm doing right now, do my periscope. Hello everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. They're right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff. It's in the state of Tennessee. And today's date is early Sunday morning, October the 8th, 2017. Time 5:41 a.m. And I first say thank you to all my family, my support for your team, encouragement, and support. Now usually had the music, Radio Africa online, but I'm at first thing Monday. I'm at to get the technician do some technician on the computer, but we still okay. So right now, what we want to do right now, before I do anything or talk about anything, recently, we had this tragic incident in Las Vegas, Nevada, and also been having some natural disasters, the weather, they want to take this opportunity, to go to God. We always give thanks to God for blessing us with His guidance, and and just blessing us with all His blessings. And we want to just take a moment of silence, and just take about 30 seconds. Just to reflect and just to go to God in prayer, and I'm going to be watching the time. So it's this time. So let's just take a moment of silence. So most important thing is just continue to pray to God, and pray to God. We're gonna continue to talk about African traditional religion. As you know, African traditional religion is being taught at institutions of higher learning, colleges and universities in sub-Saharan Africa. You can earn a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD studying African traditional religion. Now, one of the books we're going to continue to read from, referred to as title West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Omasei and related on Dr. P. Adelumo Opemu. Another book we're going to continue to read from and refer to as titled African Traditional Religion and Definition, written by Dr. E. Baloja Adobu. Another book we're going to continue to read from, referred to as titled African Religions and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M.B. Another book we're going to continue to read from, referred to as titled Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M.B. Now, this is an African language distribution map. This is an African language distribution map. This is the other half of the map. This is the African language distribution map. Now, as you can see on this map, it tells you that the blue color represents the Afro-Asiatic, the yellow color represents the Nilo-Saharan, the dark orange color represents the Niger-Congo A, the light orange color represents the Niger-Congo B, the Bantu, the green color represents two groups of people, the Kway people, they are the pastoralists, the Sand people, they are the hunter-gatherers over there on the island of Madagascar. The purple lavender color, that's the Austronesians. And the Austronesians are the people that live in Indonesia. And the people that live in Indonesia, they migrated. They colonized and settled the island of Madagascar. They're not the original inhabitants of the island of Madagascar. Now, as you know, the United States government, as well as other governments around the world, we have a government. Now, whether that government is a democratic government or what they call a dictatorship, totalitarian, you have a government, a monarchy, whatever. It's a government. And governments all around the world, they have laws. Every government on this earth, on the earth, they have laws. Now the United States government enacted the laws, the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970. And Title 9 of the Organized Crime Control Act is the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, the RICO Act. It's anti-gang. The Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substances Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, or Kingpin Statute, is all anti-gang. Now, the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, as well as other related legislation, as anti-gang. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice, Delinquency Prevention, and Comprehensive Gang Model, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Justice Program, and the United States Department of Justice. You can go to youth.gov and be informed about the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative and the Comprehensive Gang Model. The Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the United States Department of Justice, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, and Project Safe Neighborhood, United States Department of Justice. The Office of Community-Oriented Policing, Serving Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, United States Department of State, the Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistance Education and Training, the GREAT Program, United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. In October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which has been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which has been funded by the Bureau of Justice Assistance since 2003. The National Gang Center, the compilation of state laws against gangs. You can go to the National Gang Center website and you can be informed about the state laws against gangs. Gang prevention, an overview of research and program, Mr. James C. Howell. That's the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. The United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, National Gang Center Bulletin. Now, the title of the bulletin, History of Street Gangs in the United States. Now, read the books in the bulletin. Read the books. Now, when I read the bulletin, I know I haven't had all the time I need to just to actually sit down and read the whole bulletin, and not only the whole book, but read all the books. But still, read the bulletin and read all the books in the bulletin. Now, you can go to Wikipedia and you can find the same information. Gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of the United States Attorney Manual 1457, Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521. The United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center. The United States Department of Justice, the Organized Crime and Gang Section, and other federal, state, and local agencies. Now, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Changing Course, Preventing Gang Membership, also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice, United States Department of Education, United States Department of Health and Human Services, United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention Forum. And you can go to youth.gov and you can be informed about the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention Forum. The United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs, and also anti-hazing. You can go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. And you know what, why we, just to say this about it, there's been some recently, there's been some news reports about hazing. You understand? Been some reports about hazing. And so, hazing is anti-hazing laws are very serious, because when you go to the news, it's been reported in the news about incidents about hazing. So sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, and psychological abuse. Coerce, sexual coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Now, we know there's been some ongoing protests and marches. It's been reported, recently on the East Coast. There's been what they call them, the white nationalists, neo-Nazis. They've been ever since the month of this October. They started out in August. They they were over there on the East Coast, and they still over there. Martin, then you had the counter protesters. Understand, the Antifa. That was one organization, and then you had some more anti-white supremacists. A lot of African Americans and so on and so forth, and others protesting against the white nationalist neo-Nazis. And so this week, we had another march, protesters marching against white supremacy, and it was from Charlottesville, Virginia to Washington D.C. And the march ended on Wednesday, and the marchers, they made it all the way to the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Monument in Washington D.C., the nation's capital. And so they marched against white supremacy, and also the white nationalists. They returned to Charlottesville, Virginia, they return. It's like, for some reason, almost like you're saying, you're not like some roaches, what I'm saying? You get rid of the roaches, and if you don't have strong enough pest control, the roaches come back. You know what I'm saying? They come back. The pests come back. So they return. The white national returned to Charlottesville, Virginia, and they reignited the debate. This what got me. They reignited the debate. Said, it's a debate over the Confederate statues and monuments across the country. They saying there's a debate. What is it to debate about? You're gonna spend all this time, and you're gonna actually sit there and debate about some damn statues and a piece of cloth. Are you serious? Man, you got people in Puerto Rico, man, going through hell down there, and you sitting up here talking about you gonna have a debate about General Lee statue and the Confederate flag, and it's the game, man. It's the game. It's the game. It's the Germans and the Latins continue trying to reinforce the game, and when they had this perception that their followers are not listening, they have to take desperate measures to get the followers to continue to follow. We're having natural disasters, and look what just happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. But you want to debate about General Lee's statue and the Confederate flag. You actually gonna sit there, man? There are other things that's more important than talking about a damn statue and a piece of cloth. It's people in the Caribbean. I'm gonna say this. It's not just Puerto Rico. You understand? It's people all over the Caribbean that's having to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Because of the hurricane, and people in Texas still trying to rebuild. People in Florida. It's people all over this country, and hurricanes are still coming. They just haven't hit the East Coast, but hurricanes still building out there in the Atlantic Ocean, and eventually, one of them gonna hit. And they keep building it over and over again. Eventually, the water is gonna hit the East Coast, and it's gonna like it always do. It's gonna hit the East Coast real hard, and the protesters that the white nationalists and neo-Nazis. The news reporters don't, the governors and politicians, they're going to give you a warning and going to tell you get out. Tell everybody to get out. I'm not going to even throw anything out there. I'm not going to throw it. If a hurricane hit the East Coast, I'm not going to throw anything out there. They're going to tell everybody to get out. They're going to tell everybody to get out, so I'm not going to even throw anything out there. But like I say, there are more important things to talk about than General Lee's statue and the Confederate flag. We'll leave it at that. But want to continue to while we're talking about this gang stuff, because that stuff on the East Coast, man, it's just the 13 colonies, American history. 13 colony slavery, the East African slave trade, the Arabs, the West African slave trade, the Germans and the Latins. You understand? And the legacy, like they say, the legacy of slavery in general is, it's just it's like it just don't go away. Not just the institution of slavery, but just like the white nationalists. These individuals continue to walk around so the legacy of slavery, it just continues to it just continues on. And that's what that word gang and gang plus stir and mob plus stir. See, it's the legacy of slavery. When the slaves came over from sub-Saharan Africa and were brought over, whatever, the original slaves, we can go back to, Americans. We know that the Dutch, the pirates, the very first slaves that came over, we know they came from Angola. Everybody know that, right? Do everybody know that? The very first slave that came to America, they was on a ship. Everybody know that. We done went over this before. They came from Angola. They was on a ship. They were the Dutch pirates. They traded with, the settlers that was in Virginia. They traded. The Dutch settlers, the Dutch pirates. They had some slaves because, as you know, slavery was going on in Central and South America and the Caribbean. So they were bringing slaves from Africa. African slaves, they were being brought to Central America, South America. They were being brought to the Caribbean. Now, some Dutch pirates had some slaves, and they wanted to trade with the settlers that was in Virginia. The very first slaves that came to America, African slaves, they came from Angola, the African country Angola. You understand? So we remember that, right? So everybody, we done been over this before. So that's what that gang and mob. That's the reason why I continue to talk about it, because when you talk about people on the East Coast, when you talk about out there on the West Coast, the Blood Gang, the Crip Gang, up there in the Northwest, in Chicago, Illinois, the Folk Gang, the My People Gang, the gang period, all that gang and mob and gang plus stir, mob plus stir, thug, all that stuff is slavery. It's slavery. That's where it come from. And you still boss, goon, and you still walking around, still want to be a slave. You don't want to let go. See, nobody is making you say you're a thug over in India. Nobody in India is making Africans say you're a thug. It's you that's doing that. It's you. Nobody in Africa, nobody in sub-Saharan Africa can make a man just like me. I'm sitting here in Memphis. Can't nobody over in sub-Saharan make me say I'm a gang plus stir, I'm a mob plus stir. You know who doing that? It be me, by myself. I'm over here in America. I'm doing it on my own, still being a slave. Physically, I'm not a slave, but mentally, still a slave. See, physically, you're free. Physically, I can go wherever I want. I can leave Memphis right now. I can leave Memphis, Tennessee right now. I can go to wherever I want to go. You understand? I can go on the East Coast if I want to. I can go up north if I want to. I can go down south. I can go to Alabama. I can go to Louisiana. I can go anywhere in America. I can go to Washington, Seattle, Washington if I want to. I can go to Alaska. Anywhere in the continental United States, I can go. I can go to Hawaii if I want to. Physically, I'm not a slave. I can go wherever I want. Mentally, still holding on to slavery. Still being a slave. That's what it means. You're still being a slave mentally. Even spiritually, you're still a slave. See? And it's just, you gotta let go, man. You gotta let go. That's the reason why I continue to read the dictionary and, try to show individuals that that's not what the word gang even means. I do it for myself as well as others. I try to show you, man, look, that's not what the word gang even means. To behave and conduct yourself that way. Read the dictionary. It tells you that's not what the word gang means. That's not what the word mob means. It's a noun and it's a verb. So which one are you saying? When you say you're a gangster, you say you're a mobster. Is it a noun or a verb? See, mentally, you don't want to let go. Mentally, you don't want to you still a slave. You're still a slave. You being lied to. And you lying. So let's go to the dictionary. Okay, it's copyright. Now, the way everybody see, I have a Merriam-Webster dictionary. And it's a copyright. I think it's 2003. Yeah. No, mine is copyright 2004. So, we in the 2000s. We're in the 2004 copyright. I have a Merriam-Webster thesaurus. And we also will go to the online. We're going to go to the online dictionary as well. Because, we progress. We advance, we improve, we progress. So we're going to go online as well. I'm going to have to take my glasses off. Okay, now, first thing we're going to is gang. Gang is a noun. It's a noun. Gang is a noun. Number one, a set of implements or devices arranged to operate together. Okay, now, you see what I'm talking about? Nobody telling you to do that. Number two, a group of persons working or associated together, especially a group of criminals or young delinquents. Number two, gang. It's a verb. Number one, to attack in a gang, usually with gang up on somebody. Number two, to form into or move or act as a gang. Now, this is what you need to ask a question. This is a question you need to ask. You need to ask a question. When you say the word gang is a verb, and when you hear the word gang as a noun, listen. This is a very serious question. I want you to answer this question. I want you to ask questions and then get an answer. Now, it tells you that the gang is a word. It's a verb. Now, when you hear the definition of gang as a verb, it says to attack in a gang. Go back and read the definition of gang as a noun. It didn't say that. It didn't tell you that. It said it's a set of implements or devices arranged to operate together. Did you hear that? So when you say gang up, see, this is some stuff that you made up. This is how you know that in the past, people took the word gang and they made some stuff up. That's how you know it's made up. When you hear gang as a verb, you're going to gang up. Because when you read the definition of gang as a noun, if you know what a noun is, a person, place, or thing, a verb is a noun that shows action. You can't gang up on nobody. Because the word gang as a noun is a set of implements or devices arranged together to operate together. And also a group of persons working or associated together, especially a group of criminals or young delinquents. See? So when you say gang as a verb, to form into or move or act as a gang, see, that's what you need to investigate. You need to investigate. You need to investigate. That's what they're telling you. Because see, this is how they know that in the past, people have done something, they lied. Somebody was lying. That's what they telling you. They lied. That's what they telling you. It's a lie. Gangster. It's a noun. Gangster is a noun. A member of a gang of criminals. A racketeer. Now let's go to mob and stir. Now we on mob number one. It's a noun. Mob is a noun. See? Listen. It's Latin. Mobile vogus. Facilitating crowd. Number one, masses, rabble. Number two, a disorderly crowd. Number three, a criminal gang. See, when you hear a word have all these different definitions, I mean, they're telling you somebody lying. See, a word can't mean all these different things. And then the things that you're talking about is a definition for be totally unrelated. See, you keep taking the word mob, the word gang and mob, and you keep applying it to whatever you want it to apply. You make it mean whatever you want it to mean. That's what it means when you see all these different definitions and meanings. It's people taking the word and making it mean what they want it to mean. See, that's what they're doing. Even people that don't even speak the language be accused of doing the same thing. Now, as you know, mob is an abbreviation of mobile vogus. Did you catch that? See, this is how you know you took the word mobile and vogus and said mob. Number one, masses or rabble. Number two, a disorderly crowd. Number three, a criminal gang. Number two, verb. Mob is a verb. To crowd about and attack or annoy. Mob by fans. Number two, to crowd into or around. Shoppers mob the stores. So you take the word and you make it mean whatever you want it to mean. That's really why it's so important for you to know what a noun is and to know what a verb is. A noun is a person, place, or thing. And a verb is a noun that shows action. Basically, that's the basic meaning of noun and verb, adjective, pronoun, adverb, what's some more? Let's get mobster. Let's get mobster. A member of a criminal gang. See how is mob being associated with gang? You're not even catching how people take a word and then they're gonna make it mean whatever they want it to mean. So now mob and gang, one word is a German word, gang is German, and mob is Latin. So now we're gonna take these two words and we're gonna tell people that these two words in these different languages mean the same thing. We're gonna translate gang to Latin. In Latin, it means, mob, and we're gonna translate Latin into German, and mob means gang. See, this is how you lie to people. You lie to the Latin people. You lie to the German people. You just lie. Okay. Now we got thug. Okay. It's a noun. Thug is a noun. Hinda and Urdu. They literally means thief. A brutal ruffian or assassin. That's what they're telling us what it means. But they tell you that the word thug is Hinda or Urdu. So all these African people, you not know Hinda, you not know Urdu. Nobody making you say thug, call yourself no thug, and behave and conduct yourself in such a manner. It's what you doing on your own. See, mental slavery, mentally a slave. So now let's go to the thesaurus too. Then we're gonna go online. Now, gang is a noun. Number one, a group of people working together on a task. A gang of neighborhood residents spent the weekend cleaning up the park. Now, synonym. Do everybody know what a synonym is? And do everybody know what an antonym is and a homonym? Synonyms, words that they not spelled alike, but they have like a similar meaning. Then an antonym is a word that's not spelled the same, and they have opposite meanings. They're opposite. Now homonym, the word that be spelled different, it can be spelled different, but they sound the same. Excuse me. For example, we gave some examples of of a homonym is tear. Just like saying racketeer, tear. You have a T-E-E-R, and you have T-E-A-R, tear. So we have some synonyms: band, company, crew, outfit, party, squad, team. Then you have some related words: army, battalion, brigade, corps, troop, force, host, posse, stable, troop, administration, department, health, personnel, staff. Number 2, a group of people sharing a common interest and relating together socially. The whole gang went out for pizza. The school's computer hackers had their own little gang. So you take the word gang and say you make it mean whatever you want it to mean. See, when we go online, it's going to tell you it can be a pack of dogs. Over in New Zealand, see, they'll be down in New Zealand talking about some wool shearers. You can take a word and make it mean whatever you want it to mean. People over in Australia, they'll have the same word, gang, and they'll be talking about, a pack of elks. We finna go there. Synonym, body, bunch, circle, clan, clique, community, coterie, crowd, fold, lot, ring, set. Related word: bevy, covey, flock, herd, horde, mob, swarm, throng, club, college, fellowship, guild, league, organization, society, cohort, pack, camp, faction, sect, side, tribe, mess, squad, brotherhood, fraternity, order, sisterhood, solidarity, sorority, commune, alliance, block, coalition, confederation, congress, council, federation, union. Now, near antonyms: loner, an individualist. Number 3, a group involved in secret criminal activities. See ring, number 1. Okay. Now let's see. Gangster is a noun, a violent, brutal person who is often a member of an organized gang. See hoodlum. Okay. Now let's go over to mob. Okay, mob is a noun. Mob is a noun. Number 1, a great number of personal things gathered together. See crowd, number 1. Number 2, a group involved in secret criminal activity. See ring, number 1. Number 3, the body of the community is contrasted with the elite. See mass, number 1. See, you make a word mean whatever you want it to mean. It means a crowd. See ring, number 1. See mass, number 1. Mob is a verb: to move upon or feel something in great number. See crowd, number 2. Okay. Mobster. Okay, mobster is a noun, a violent, brutal person who is often a member of an organized gang. See hoodlum. Okay. Okay, thug is a noun, a violent, brutal person who is often a member of an organized gang. See hoodlum. So you take the word and you make it mean whatever you want it to mean. Here it is, a word. See, this is a good example. You take the word thug and you apply it to somebody's behavior and conduct. See, it could be a person standing. Let me show you something. It could be a little kid. Let me give you an example. It can be a little kid, right? A little girl, a little boy, at the corner grocery store. At the store, they just say in public, out in public. And you'll have a group of adults. You'll have some adults walking around. And they will observe a little boy, a little girl. And you know what they'll say about that little boy, little girl? Guess what they'll say about that little boy and little girl? But the little boy and little girl don't know what they saying about them. See? Because see, the little boy and little girl, they just a little boy and little girl. They just a child. But the adults, when they see the little boy and little girl, you know what they'll say? You behaving like a thug. That's what they'll call the little boy and little girl. That's how they teach the little boy and little girl. They'll call you a thug. See, the little boy and little girl, they know. But that's what they'll call you. They'll call you a thug. You're acting like a thug. Little boy and little girl looking around there, they really don't know. They don't even know what to say. They just, they'll just stand there and sit there. They'll stop doing whatever it is they're doing. Then they'll just go about their day, but they heard what you said. You called them a thug. You called the little boy, you called the little girl a thug. So guess what the little boy and little girl gonna do? The little boy and little girl gonna go around other little girls and little boys and start saying what? Thug, I'm a thug. And they know what they gonna do. They gonna think, they know what they talking about. They gonna say that I'm acting like a thug. Because they heard some adults call them a thug. And then they'll grow up with this mentality. They think their behavior and their conduct means that I'm a thug. So let's go online, let's go online. Let's go online, time. Let's go to dictionary.com. Let's go to dictionary.com for time. Because in the past, we didn't did some of these. We done went to Merriam-Webster, dictionary.com. We done went to dictionary.com, thesaurus.com. We have gone to Cambridge University English Dictionary.com. We have gone to Oxford University English Dictionary.com. We have gone to Collins English Dictionary.com. We have gone to Macmillan English Dictionary.com. We have gone to Oxford University Latin Dictionary.com. So we're going to go to dictionary.com right now. You see, it's the same thing about slavery. See, when we talk about the slaves that came over from Angola, the very first slave came from Angola. They were educated. Now, let's don't say that they were not educated. The very first slave who came from Angola, they had a culture, they had a custom when they came over because they were living in Angola. So you can't say that they were not educated. They were. We all understand that, right? Do everybody understand it? When you took the very first slaves from Angola, they had a culture, they had a custom, they had a way of life. But what you did, what the Germans and the Nazis did, is you took those people from, took those African people from Angola. You started sending slaves to the Caribbean, to also Mexico. We know, remember, Veracruz, Mexico. Slaves were coming to Mexico. The slave port, Veracruz, Mexico. Slaves were being brought from sub-Saharan Africa, and slaves were going to Caribbean, Central America, South America. Then slaves were being brought to the United States of America, to the East Coast, to Virginia. See, and slave mentality. The very first slave had education. But then once the slaves came to America and started living around, you were denied education. The only education you had is what what the slave master taught you, gang, mob, thug, boss, master. See, the only thing you learn is what the slave master taught you. That's all you learn from that point on. But the very first slaves that came over, they had culture, they had customs, they had a way of life. And still, when you still was bringing slaves over from the mainland, they had a way of life. They had a way of life. Okay, we on dictionary.com. Okay, let's get the pronunciation. Alright, gang. Okay, it's a noun. Gang is a noun. It's a group of band, a gang of boys gathered around a winning picture. Number 2, a group of youngsters or adolescents who associate closely, often exclusively for social reasons, especially such a group engaging in delinquent behavior. Number 3, a group of people with compatible tastes or mutual interests who gather together for social reasons. You know, these are the gang people, and they'll take the word gang and they apply it the way they want to apply it. A group of persons working together, squad, shift, a gang of laborers, you know, a chain gang. You be in prison or, you know, a chain gang. A group of persons associated for some criminal or other social, antisocial purpose. A gang of thieves. Number 6, a set of tools, electronic components or circuits, or a set of arranged to work together or simultaneously. So the computer technicians, the electricians, the electrical engineer, they'll take the word gang and start, set of tools, electronic components or circuits. Number 7, a group of identical or related items. Verb used with object. Gang. Number 8, to arrange in groups or sets form into a gang. Number 9, to attack in a gang. Verb used without object. Number 10, to form or act as a gang. Verb phrasing. Number 11, gang up on. Then it tells you the origin of gang. See, this is very important. The origin of gang. Number 1, Middle English, Old English. Gang, gone, manner of going, way, passage, cardinal, Old High German, gang, Old Norse, gang, got it. Then you have synonym, company, crowd, group, party, set, clique, color, team. Gang. Number 2, verb, chiefly Scottish and North England, to walk or to go. See, this is how you know you've been lying. See, we advance, we improve, we progress. So we on dictionary.com and we just read from the paperback. You know what I'm saying? It told you it was a set of implements or, tools arranged together. It told you that in the paperback. And it also told you it was a criminal organization, delinquent youth, and so on. So this is how you know you've been lying. How you gonna take the word gang and it's a set of implements and instruments and things is next, then turn around and tell me that the word gang gonna turn around and mean a criminal organization? See, this is how you know you're lying. You're lying. This is how you know you're lying. Okay, we have an example from the web for gang. Now, the British dictionary definition for gang. Now, number 1, a group of people who associate together or act as an organized body, especially for criminal or illegal purposes. Number 2, an organized group of workmen. Now, this is what we want to get to. This is just listen. A herd of buffaloes or elks or a pack of wild dogs. That's a gang. Over there in New Zealand, a group of shearers who travel to different shearing sheds, shearing classes and available. Why you gotta call some people down in New Zealand a gang? And they speak English. and the people in New Zealand, Australia, where they came from, England. So why are you going to take the word gang? And when you originally came from England, and the word gang didn't even have anything to do with shearing wool, but now you done left England, and you take the word gang, and then you apply it the way you want to apply it. When you down in New Zealand, and when you in Australia, see, when you in America, we take the word gang, and we just gonna apply it the way we want to apply it. All me and the gang, we gonna go out for peace. Number 5 is series or similar to the range of words simultaneous and parallel beat is marked by gang song. Verb. Number 6, to form and to become part of or act as a gang. Number 7, transfer with electronics to mount two or more components such as barrel compound on the same shaft, permitting adjustment by a single controller. Okay, and then you got derived forms. Word origin, Old English, gang, journey, related to Old Norse, gang or Old High German, gang. Even Sanskrit, junghe, foot. Now see, how you gonna throw some Indian, some Sanskrit, junghe, foot into this definition? A gang. Gang. Number 2, verb. Number 1, Scottish, to go. Word origin, Old English, ganging, to go. So how you gonna be down in New Zealand and Australia? Listen to this. The people in Scotland, they say the word gang. The word that these people in Scotland speak, gang, is based on the word that the English people speak. It just told you that in the word origin. The word origin is Old English. Gang, gang, to go. That's what the word gang means. It means to go in English. So for all you blood gang, Crip gang, folk gang, Nine People gang, the word gang means to go. So while you behave and conduct yourself that way, that goes for everybody on this earth. The word gang means, the original word, the old, it means to go. So how you gonna throw stir on the end? You're lying. Simple as that. It's a lie you tell me, you're lying. Just read the word origin and history for gang. And the people over in Germany, the German speaking people, just read the word origin and history for gang. From Old English, gang, a going, journey, way, passage. And Old Norse, a group of men is set both in Proto-Germany, Gangas, Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Danish, Dutch, Old High German, German gang, Old Norse. You're lying. Now let's look up mob. Okay? It's a noun. A disorderly or riotous crowd of people. A crowd bent on engaging in lawless violence. Number 2, any group or collection of purpose of things. Number 4, the common people, the massive populace or multitude. Number 5, criminal gang, especially one involving drug trafficking, extortion, etc. Number 6, the mob. Number 7, socialized group of persons stimulating one another to excitement and losing ordinary rational control over their activity. Number 8, a flock, herd, or drove of animals. See what I'm talking about? You take the word mob, at first it means a disorderly crowd. Even in sociology, it's a group of persons stimulating one another to excitement and losing ordinary rational control over their activity. Then you turn around and tell me that the word mob means it's a flock, it's a herd and drove of animals. You know, which one is it? Then you tell me it's any group or collection of persons or things. You know, you just make the word mean whatever you want it to mean. That's what it means. That's what you say. Okay, it's an adjective of relating to a characteristic of lawless, irrational, disorder, or riotous crowd. Number 10, directly or reflecting the lowest intellectual level of the common people. Verb used with object. 11, to crowd around, noise named from curiosity or hostility. Number 12, to attack in a riotous mob. Number 13, fox hunting to chop. Now, the origin of mob. Number 1, Latin, 1680, 1690. Short for Latin, mobile bogus, the movable, changeable, inconstant, common people. That's what the word means. It comes from Latin. Alright, the British Dictionary definition for mob. Now, let me ask a question. Okay, the people over in England, they speak German, all the German speaking people. Okay, so we got a British Dictionary definition for mob. Now, number 8, a riotous or disorderly crowd of people, rabble. B, mob, law, mob violence. Number 2, often derogatory, a group or class of people, animals, or things. Number 3, over there in Australia and New Zealand, a flock of sheep or a herd of cattle, especially when drove. So that's what mob means in Australia and New Zealand. A flock of sheep or a herd of cattle. Number 4, often derogatory, the mass. And number 5, slang, gang of criminals. Bird, mobs, mob money, to attack in group resembling a mob. Number 7, to surround, especially or to acclaim. Number 8, to crowd into. So on and so forth. Now, the word origin and history for mob. 1680, disorderly part of the population, rabble. Slang, shortening of mobile, mobility, common people, populace, rabble. So how you gonna put stir on the end of that? How you gonna be a mobster? Based on the word origin and history for mob. How you gonna behave and conduct yourself as a mobster? Based on the word origin and history for mob. It's a slang shortening of mobile, mobility, common people. So how you gonna be a mobster? Now, thug is a noun, a cruel or vicious ruffian, robber, or murderer. Okay, let me scroll down. The origin of thug is Hindi. It's Hindi. First recorded in 1818, the thug is from the Hindi word thag, literally a rogue or cheat. Thug is a noun. Number 1, a tough and violent man, especially a criminal. Okay. A member of organization robbers and assassins in India who typically strangle their victims. Over there in India. The word origin history for thug. Member of a gang of murderers and robbers in India who strangle their victims. Stop right there. Why you had to throw the word gang in the definition? You see that? A member of a gang of murderers and robbers. Why you just didn't say, some murderers and robbers? Why you had to throw gang in the definition? Who strangled their victims? See, this is how you try to make the word mean what you want it to mean. See? This is how you try to make the word thug, how you translate, you try to make it mean whatever you want it to mean. You throw words out. We're gonna stay on it, man. We gotta stay on it. We gotta stay on it. Now, like we've been talking, there are groups of people on this earth who they have anything to do with East African or West African slave trade. And now this is a map of the world. The Albanian speaking people, they did not have anything to do with the East African, West African slave trade. The Albanian speaking people. The Baltic speaking people, the people that live in Lithuania and Latvia, the Baltic speaking people, they did not have anything to do with the East African, West African slave trade. The Greek-speaking people, they did not have anything to do with the East African, West African slave trade. The Greek-speaking people. The Turkic-speaking people, the Oghuz, the Altaic-speaking people, all the Altaic-speaking groups of people, they did not have anything to do with the East African or West African slave trade. The European nation of Turkey, what they call Anatolia, they did not have anything to do with the East African or West African slave trade. The Ottomans. The Slavic speaking people, They did not have none of the Slavic groups of people. None of the Slavic speaking people had anything to do with the East African or West African slave trade. None of the Slavic speakers. None of the Slavic speaking people had anything to do with the East African West African slave trade. Now, the Uralic speaking people, European nation of Hungary, Finland, Estonia. The Uralic speaking people did not have anything to do with the East African or West African slave trade. Now, the European nation of Romania. Now, what they call Romania, I didn't mention it last week, what they call Wallachia. Wallachia. The European nation of Romania is also called Wallachia. Now, when we talk about Romania, let's make this clear. First, we want to talk about the East African, West African slave trade. The Romanian people did not have anything to do with the East African, West African slave trade. The historical records don't tell you there was no organized Romanian effort. They were not involved with the East African, West African slave trade. I'm going to make that perfect clear. The Romanian people did not have anything to do with the East African, West African slave trade. Now, Romanian language, we know it's a Latin language. We know that. Now, we're not going to get into no debate with no individuals who left Romania. We talking about the government that organized as a people. The Romanian people did not have anything to do with the East African, West African slave. Now, the Romanian people do have a history of slavery. They have a history of slavery. The Roma people, the people who are nomadic, people from India, the Roma people, they left, they were slaves in Romania. The Roma people are also called the gypsies. That way, everybody, the gypsies. They were slaves, former slaves in Romania. Okay. Now, slavery in Romania was abolished. In the early 1800s to mid 1800s. Now, the Roma people, like I say, slavery was abolished. I'm not a Roma person, so I'm not gonna go in depth and all that. But we talking about the historical record. The historical record, slavery was abolished. Now, from that point on, the Roma people were considered citizens of Romania. Now, we know about World War II. Time don't always permit me to always go into that about the Romanian people, supporting Nazis and all that. But see, the government, it's the Germans and Adolf Hitler and the crimes against humanity that Adolf Hitler and the Germans committed against the Romanian Jews and the Roma people. and Jews all over the world, and crimes he committed against Germans, and crimes he committed against human beings, period. History just tells me ain't never been nobody as evil besides the devil as Adolf Hitler. I ain't never seen nobody in history as evil as that man. And we don't see, But as for that, the Romanian people, they ain't have anything to do with the East African, West African slave trade. Now, I ain't have time to go in. We continue to talk about exposing Saul from Tarsus in the Bible, which I have done. We continue to talk about the lies that Saul from Tarsus told about his conversion. You understand? And we know he lied. There's not nobody on this earth can deny he lied. Read Acts chapter 9, the whole chapter. Read Acts chapter 22. Read Acts chapter 26 and turn back to Acts chapter 9. You will see for yourself. Saul from Tarsus lied. All that stuff about calling himself a Christian is a lie. He persecuted the disciples of the Lord. It's a lie. So I'm getting ready to end today's video. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. And I thank all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement and support. And till next time, you take care of yourself and wish each and every one of you very best, and always put God first.